like to kick every episode off by going around the table, which is where we talk about something new, fun, and noteworthy about our weeks. But before we do that this episode, we have a very special guest who's going to be with us for the entire episode.
Tell us all about it.
We're going to talk to Andrew Kolb. Remember when we used to do that on all of our episodes?
Yeah, we tried to forget that.
Did we really?
Yeah, we did the echo.
Nobody needs to know that.
Yeah, I'm serious.
We went so long without anybody knowing that because nobody listened at that time. And you brought it up.
We thought that it added production value if it sounded like we were recording in a big hallway.
Right, yeah.
Hallway.
It also sounded like you were recording in a big hallway because it was one mic in a room.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Turns out we didn't need to add any effects. It just did it naturally. All right, so Andrew is sitting quietly idle by, but he's here. Andrews, tell everybody
to be neither
that you're here.
seen nor heard.
Yeah,
I know. I'm heard.
You're heard.
I guess I'm still not seen. Hi, friends. Hello.
Hey, man.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
So we get the luxury of seeing your face and talking to you pretty regularly, but we usually keep you to a very, very scaled down time.
A strict
mostly
time limit.
Because you make Patrick feel bad about how nice you are in comparison to how terrible he is
story.
as a
He
person.
is terrible.
But this time we decided to it's been a bit since we've talked to you about all of your work. And then we have some just general topic and housekeeping things we want to do with you. So we're just going to go into it. You're going to be here the whole time. You're going to have all of our master category time is going to be dedicated to you. So, but for now, we're going to kick off our around the table. So who do you want to go first?
I'm going to hold the mirror back and say you, Andrew. Why don't you start us off?
Ooh,
Crap. Okay.
I like it.
So it's been a crazy couple of weeks. If you're a regular listener to the show, you know that because our schedule has been kind of wonky and the episode releases have been different, which is good and variety is good, but it's been really, really tiring. It's just been kind of nonstop. So I'm finally, after the last 4 or 5 days, getting back to a regular schedule and a rhythm of things. Several things have happened in the past couple of weeks. I'm not going to go into all of them. I'm just going to show you a couple of the things that I've been able to get. Not the least of which is this little guy right here. So we went to MondoCon, met up with a couple of people. Ryan Davis gave me a gift. It's a birthday gift. My birthday is next week or this weekend, I guess.
Yeah,
it's this weekend if you're watching this on release day.
Will you tell us the date?
It's November 19th is my birthday. But he made this for me. It's hard to see what it is, but it's felt.
Great.
It's a felt Darkwing Duck. Gosh, it's kind of hard to see
It's good.
You can see it better, on the camera over here.
Yeah.
But it's felt. It's totally dimensional. It's totally cool. So I was so happy to get that. Very, very cool. Something that I pre-ordered a long time ago, was probably 3 or 4 months ago. I pre-ordered, and it finally came in, is the new Funko Rock Candy. Here's the box. The Rock Candy Jessica Rabbit. There's not a ton of
I don't know what that means, rock candy. Is that a line?
Is that a new line?
It's like sparkle, right?
Okay.
It's not necessarily sparkle.
Listen, it says
This one does
Funko.
have
I stopped
sparkle,
paying
but
attention.
Sorry. It's a Funko line.
Gotcha.
So it's not okay.
Yeah, it's
Never
Funko.
mind. Ignore what I said.
But here is Jessica Rabbit, and she's wearing a glitter dress.
It makes me uncomfortable. I don't like that.
I love it.
You know
And
who likes
else?
that probably is Jay Ratner.
Well, I texted
He
him
bought
as soon
3
as
of them.
Don't ask. Never mind. I sent him a text, and his was pre-ordered as well. But he's going on vacation, and his will be delivered while he's gone.
Gotcha.
So, but it's beautiful. So if you're just listening to this, you're not watching. The sculpt is really nice. The paint job is really nice. It's Jessica Rabbit, but stylized in a cartoony kind of way.
Yeah.
But her dress is glitter paint, and man, just killed it. And then the final thing, 2 things. We went to MondoCon, and I talked about it on the MondoCon recap episode. So if you haven't watched that, go back and watch that because there's a lot of great stuff there. But I talked about the Becky Cloonan original drawing of Lydia from Beetlejuice. Yeah,
Beetlejuice.
Winona.
Oh wait, we
Winona
said it 3
Ryder.
times.
That's true. So hold on to your butts, everybody. But here is the drawing. Let's see if I can get it.
So she did that in about 30 minutes, sitting on stage and
looking
in the
at
panel in front of 100 people.
reference material from 10 feet away, like the side shot of
Just
a computer.
glancing.
Yeah, glancing at Jay
glancing.
Shaw's computer.
But-
and what I love about this...
Go ahead.
Luke.
Well, I was going to say the funny part about it is she said, I fooled all of you because I just drew a pretty girl with the bangs and you just think it's Winona Ryder. She's like, it's not Winona Ryder.
But it's 100% Winona
I mean,
Ryder.
it looks like her. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's cool about this, other than it's an original drawing and it's gonna be it's essentially like the initial piece to start a Mondo poster that should be coming out next year, which is pretty cool. And it's signed by her and all that jazz. Here's a cool part about it. So you've heard about remarks, right? So like when someone does a screen print and then they'll draw a little additional drawing on there to customize it for everybody. They call them remarks. Well, I call this pre-marks because on the back of the paper, she did a sketch of the direction she wanted to go before she did the drawing in like full scale. So here, these are her pre-marks of Lydia wearing the big black hat from Beetlejuice. And so, it's a really neat little piece. I can't wait to get it framed. Really excited about that. The final piece, Luke in one of our panels he asked a question, Brock Otterbacher, the toys guy, the toys and collectibles guy from Mondo, and he won a gift just for asking a question. Other people were getting like $350 figures.
Yep.
Just huge boxes.
Massive boxes
Well,
that they were going to have to
he had
ship
people
home
pick a
because they
number
wouldn't get 'em.
1 through 7, and I was the last person, so
Yeah.
I got default leftover gift.
One of the gifts, it took 2 guys with those like shoulder straps running under it in order to like lift it and bring it over to him.
It came
That's also
in a
not true.
refrigerator box.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
But so Luke got the final question, and he got, ironically, the smallest gift. But it ended up working out well.
It worked out for both of us.
I had a poster that Luke really wanted. I really wanted this, and I missed out on it when it first released. So we traded straight up for it. So I got the Hellboy, the baby Hellboy.
Oh, cool.
And here's the
It's not
inside of
in
the
there.
box. It's not in there because he's right here.
Oh. That's good.
And I'm putting it up to the camera, the
good camera?
video. There you go. Yeah, the good camera. The sculpt is amazing.
Yeah.
This is the Mondo exclusive version, and so he comes with this. Andrew, you'll get this because you're a Hellboy fan, but he comes with the crown with the fire, the flame.
Yeah.
I have a little bit of beef with this. I'm going to talk to Brock about it next time we talk. This just kind of sets on his head, which isn't.
Well, what
great
else
for
would it?
display.
So, you know what? I thought about that because I looked up some more like other people had posted pictures and some people had said that. And I was like, yeah, that does kind of stink. But at the same time, what else would you do? Because when he's
Magnet.
not. Well,
Magnet.
So if I know anything about Mondo and their toy production, it is as scaled down as possible for production cost. And I think to embed a magnet in the head for that would have added too much of a cost in the casting.
I agree, but I think it would have been better.
I agree.
That's just-
Yeah, you're right.
What about glue?
What about a strap?
Strap.
You tie it.
Well, I was thinking like you could have a
Like a
little peg
bonnet.
sticking out and a hole in his head to put it down in, but then if he's not wearing it, you'd have a little
Yeah,
hole.
it's a
That
hole,
would
yeah.
make sense.
Then you
And-
put a plug in, but then you can't get the plug
So the-
out. And
the
so
other-
then it doesn't
the other
fit.
thing you could
shave
do-
off the peg, and then it's
The other thing you could do is his little horns that are sticking out. If you made the fire molded in such a way that it would clip around the horns better, that would have worked to hold it on instead of just sitting on there.
As it is, he's going to sit on my shelf, and he's not going to be wearing the crown because I think he just looks way cooler without the crown anyway. And so I have a screen print from Mike Mignola, a small print that he signed when I met him in
San Diego.
at Comic-Con,
Yep.
where Hellboy is this age. So
Yeah.
it's going to go perfectly right next to that.
Nice.
So it's going to be great. Ironically, Lobster Johnson is also in that print.
Oh, great.
A throwback to months ago when we had you on the
Yeah.
show and you talked about Lobster Johnson. So anyway, that was my time. I'm going to hand it over to Luke.
hey.
All right. So first of all, I just want to say that it feels really good to be back doing this. Like, it's awesome being out there, talking to everybody, being in person. I think honestly for me, that's the that fuels me, that refuels me. It's like sitting down here It gets a little stagnant. We talk to amazing people. We have a lot of fun, but like actually being out there in the mix of it is really awesome. But this, coming back to it now, feels really good. Like I feel like I'm getting back to a comfort level, and traveling was just like really fun, but also exhausting. So now that I'm done traveling for a minute, I'm getting back into the swing of this, and it feels really good. All of that being said, this week was kind of just a get back and state of affairs. Where is everything at project-wise? What do I need to work on? So I'm in the middle of that. So if you saw when we were in San Francisco, we went to, Patrick, what's the name of the toy shop that we went to?
Woot Bear.
Woot Bear. And we did a Instagram live, but I don't know if we've posted anything else. We all picked up an outsider, a JLED outsider.
Mine is hanging out right there.
Cool.
I think maybe
Can't see
mine made it home with one of you because I can't find him.
Nope, I don't have it. Maybe Patrick has it. Anyway,
I might have it. I'll check later.
The one I pulled was this guy right here, Moonbeam, the hippie skunk, and it's actually the Chase figure. So I got super lucky. I know Patrick is not super excited. You can't see it in the up here, but you can see it on the camera. So it's right here. I will show here. I'll show Andrew Kolb because
how different is your camera angle than ours?
I don't know.
Oh, cool.
Look at that guy.
He's super awesome.
That's
He's
great.
really fun.
He looks like he just looks chill and like he's got a huge beer belly.
Yeah, he's
like Luke.
hanging out. Yeah, chill. He got a huge beer belly. That's cool. The other thing is this patch from playing the Thing Outbreak.
Oh my gosh.
Outpost 31. That game. First of all, good job, Mondo team. They killed it. Like Luke Byers, Jay Shaw. I'm gonna miss a couple names.
Project Raygun.
Yeah, Project Raygun, and then
Justin Erickson.
Justin Erickson did the art, but the main game designer, I'm gonna biff on his name. Patrick, can you look it up while I'm talking?
No.
Okay, cool.
Sean P. Diddy Combs.
That's not it.
Oh.
But anyway, so we played that game. We played it. I think we played it a total of 3 times when we were gone. The first night, and then we played 2 more at your house. That game is so great. It's a social deduction on steroids. It's like, because there's a panic, like there's a heightened like time limit on it, and I think that's the thing that really helps. Like Resistance and Secret Hitler, those all have a sort of time limit to them also, but it doesn't feel as dangerous or as heightened because it's not you're trying to escape a infected outpost without taking a assimilation with you.
And you know what?
What?
Tim Weish.
Tim Weish.
Gotcha.
Yes. But yeah, that game was awesome. So that's the only other thing is figuring out, when I can actually order it, because the place I normally get my games, it's out of stock. But yeah, that was it, man.
I think it comes back in stock on the 10th.
Okay,
So that's
sweet.
very soon.
One thing I did want to ask about that game
Go ahead.
was I couldn't tell what the play time is. Like, how long is it from start to finish?
So when you first learn, it's like an hour and a half. But once you know how to play the game, you could probably play comfortably in about 45 minutes. We played one game in about 35 or 30 minutes, and I think we rushed through a lot of it. Or not rushed through, but we didn't do as much like talking or social deduction as maybe you normally would. So I think 45 minutes is probably a good standard once everybody knows how to play. It's really good, and the art is incredible. The quality of the game, it fits everything. What's up, Cat is neat.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Taking a break from Instagram to join us on the show.
Nice to have you,
I'm sorry,
celebrity.
Just our audio
only version
listeners.
of me. Otherwise, you'd all be able to see my cat, who's now stolen my chair. But,
No, I think we heard a little meow.
oh, okay, great.
Yeah, I think we got a little taste of Cat is Neat.
Okay, I'm sorry.
no,
So,
it's
Luke,
all
I
good.
also wanted to ask about
Yes.
So, based on the time you're given for deduction,
Yes.
do you find you had to kind of cut it off at some point? Like I find with a murder mystery,
Mm-hmm.
where after a certain point you say, okay, we just need to move forward to the next step, or do you think that kind of happens naturally when you three were playing?
Right. I think they've designed it in such a way that it happens pretty naturally. There are times where at the end of the game, when you're trying to figure out who is going to the helicopter to escape, that's where it's prolonged, and there's a lot of back and forth of no, you did this, you did this, you did this. That means you're probably an alien, or no, I did this, this, and this. So I'm human. Don't pick the wrong person. Like that's an extended time, but in the game, the way they have it set up for who's viewing cards, like how the leader mechanic works of who's viewing cards where, they kind of limited as much interaction as you would have to keep it kind of more like you get hints, and so you just you file it away for the end of the game where you can go, oh, that happened. This is why I think you are who you say you are, or aren't, or whatever. It's pretty clever, and we didn't put that together until we read more into the rules and realized some of the mechanics that the leader actually does. And it's really smart because it limits a lot of that, a lot of the knowledge that was shared in our first couple playthroughs. It limits that so that not everybody is privy to everything, which helps both sides a little bit.
Gotcha. And you can be flipping halfway through, right? Like you can start off as a human and then
so
that's also a really interesting dynamic. Like I feel like with a werewolf game,
right?
I think like a one night ultimate werewolf,
right.
What's great is you think you're one, but you could be somebody else,
right?
And you don't know. So I really like that flip on it where you but you start off genuinely playing one team and then you switch to another team.
Right. And
so
it's cool.
Now, and I will say, because I have thought about it in terms of one night, and I'm not sure if I like it more or less. When you play one night, the werewolves and the what are like the assistants to the werewolves? What are they called?
Like a minion?
The minions,
yeah.
They all know who everybody is, because
right.
at the very beginning you like turn your thumbs up and like you can look and like see the other people, or like you make eye contact or whatever. In this game, you don't know who the other infected are.
You don't have that. Yeah.
And so with a team of 8, there are 3 infected. So there's
Max,
also
like you can't have more than 3.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and so there's
but
also
you could have
to,
less than 3.
Yes, it is possible. It's just unlikely. But there's also a bit of trying to figure out who you're trying to work with, because you don't necessarily know who is like you. So
right, okay.
And that's where it really relies on the social interactions. Because like the first game that Andrew and I played, we were both assimilations, and we didn't realize that we.
I don't think that's the right word. I don't think it's assimilations.
What's the word? Because it's not alien.
No, it's not alien. It's a different word, because the Project Reagan people. No, we'll figure it out. Just keep. It's
Whatever.
Not, I don't think it's assimilation, but just keep going.
Okay. Anyway, we didn't realize. So the game started out. I was the bad guy from the beginning, and then on the next round when it added people, Andrew got added, and so he was on to me right at first. And then when he picked up his card and realized that he was now on the bad side, he backed off. And I was
very verbal.
Yeah.
Obviously, I being a good guy, knowing that he was a bad guy,
right.
Trying to make sure everybody understood he was a bad guy. But then once I became a bad guy,
he backed off a little bit.
I shifted my attention. Yeah.
Right. And I caught that. And so knowing him and knowing how we normally play games like Resistance or Werewolf, I caught that, and we were able to work together. Unfortunately, the other guy who was a bad guy, he was just sunk to begin with. He was kind of.
I don't think he was one until the third round, though.
I think you're right. Yeah.
The strategy, and then we can move on. But the strategy that I ended up going with was someone picked up on, I think it was Patrick, picked up on the fact that it was Trevor, picked up on that fact that I was bad. And so what I did was to divert all the attention to me in hopes that, so I played a blatant bad guy game.
Right.
So that my other fellow bad guys could fly under the radar.
And we win, you ultimately win, right?
Right. So I, even though I didn't get picked to put on the helicopter, Luke did, so I still got to win.
Right.
So,
go ahead, Patrick.
I was going to say, it's pretty, you have to get it 100% correct.
Right.
Like you can't like leave a good person off. Like all the good people have to escape and all the bad people have to get left behind. So like you have to get it perfect or it doesn't work. And there's a big reveal at the end when the people do the flip. There's definitely some yelling.
It's good. It's really
now
really
the
good.
only
So out of the three, sorry, my last question is: out of the 3 games you played, did it ever work that you just got the humans on the like that?
Yes, our last game.
last one.
The last game, and I was on the human team. I'm undefeated in this game so far.
On the last game, it was the first time that, if any of the times that we played, that all 3 of us were humans and we all got to win together.
Yes.
It was a really nice way to send off the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big fun.
Okay.
It was a big fun. It was a
Yeah,
big
it was
fun.
fun for everybody else in the room. It was great.
Right.
Good catch, man.
Wow.
All right, so I think I've gone long enough. I'm going to throw it to Andrew Kolb, and then Patrick
Okay.
can wrap it up.
So I guess my week, I mean, I'm a little behind on film, and I know we're kind of going to talk about some things later.
Sure.
So I haven't seen Thor yet as of this recording. But I did see, and again, behind the 8 ball, that I saw, now I've lost it, Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, nice.
So interesting. And I know I kind of talked to Patrick a bit about it before we started, that I was going in kind of expecting it to be thought-provoking or for it to stick with me, and it did.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was everything that I kind of always understood Blade Runner to be, but never really kind of like got it for myself. Like the visuals were beautiful. I felt the story was maybe a little too well, no, I was okay with the story. But just yeah, it was interesting. It just it stuck with me. Like I don't know if I loved it. I think I really enjoyed literally seeing it.
Yes.
But outside of that, I'm unsure.
Go ahead,
I feel like
Patrick.
it's been out long enough I can say this. The story is a bit pointless. I mean, I'll say that I struggled if I really think about what did we accomplish from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie. It seems a bit of a throwaway, but at the same time, it still did that word like sticking. It absolutely stuck with me,
Yeah.
and that's kind of my metric for saying it was a good film because like it stayed on my mind so much. And it was just beautiful, and the music is just the score is awesome, especially sitting in the theater.
Right.
And
What did you,
Yeah,
Andrew? What did you think of the antagonist?
I liked it.
Okay.
Interesting. I thought it was great that he wasn't front and center because I think based on who he was, that makes sense. Like I never expect Steve Jobs to be going out onto the like showroom floor and being like, "You are my greatest challenge or success or failure."
Right.
Like I don't expect that. So I wouldn't expect him to be like to get his hands dirty. That's what I'm
Can
trying
I
to say.
stop you 1 second and tell you what I thought you said, and then I figured out what you said and it made more sense.
yeah.
Great.
What I thought you said was you never expect Steve Jobs to go out into the Sherwood Forest. You're right. I would never
I
expect.
thought
a
he was
completely
saying
different
Sherwin
movie.
Williams for some reason. Like my mind had completed that.
I was with you, Kolb.
You never
you.
expect to see Steve Jobs in a Sherwin Williams. He has
I
someone
mean,
do all of his paint purchasing for him.
I think all of these are accurate. I think
Yep.
everyone's own truth is their truth, and it's right. So I do want to bring it back. So the antagonist I thought was fine. I don't think I like him as an actor in general, based on what I've read about his method approach.
Okay.
So I bring a lot of baggage into any role I see him in.
Sure.
But outside of that, I thought he was an interesting kind of foil, but acting in the shadows.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I think one question I had, because you've 3 balls
Yes.
seen it, you've seen the original, I assume.
Yes.
So did you go into this movie thinking Deckard was a replicant or not? Like, where do you fall on that kind of truth?
When I left
no, I
watching the
didn't.
first one, I thought that he was based on how they alluded to it, but I also didn't care. Does that make sense? Like that, I didn't think anything really hinged on it, and I still don't think anything hinges on it.
Okay. Interesting. Patrick?
Yeah, let me say this. I don't have very strong feelings about the first film. I was actually a bit let down by the first film. And I could go into a whole nother like reason like why, but I won't do that right now. I'll save it. But that being said, I kind of just assumed he was. That's kind of what my take was out of the first film, but I'll also say I wasn't being very critical when I was watching it either. So if there's a reason that you walked away feeling a different way, I'm not saying that that's wrong, but I just kind of assumed he was.
Okay. Luke?
I never thought he was, just because in my world, that would not have been good. So I just chose to believe that he wasn't.
Every time he's run into a replicant in his world, they've just been jerks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And who wants to think that Harrison Ford is a jerk? You know, that's
Wait. So Cole, what was your sense?
Well, I think from seeing the original, I always kind of took it to be that he wasn't a replicant, and that part of the whole kind of conversation was that the replicants were more human than the human hunting them, sort of thing. Like, that was kind of part of the message.
Sure.
And I know later cuts have put in the unicorn scene. Like, I think, Andrew, what you're alluding to is the daydreaming scene. Like, that definitely sells it. Like, I think that was his whole the director's or Ridley Scott's later opinion. But then I think, if I went into this movie thinking that he was a replicant, I'm assuming we can go into, full spoilers?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, it's been out for a month, right?
If someone hasn't...
Sure.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the original. I'm like...
Oh, no,
if
sorry.
someone hasn't seen it after 30 years, I think we're
No.
probably...
I think for the new one, I think you're safe at this point.
Oh, the new one's been out for 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm real behind. So 2049, spoilers, get ready.
Yeah.
So I think if we treat the child or the offspring of Deckard as being the offspring of two replicants, then I think then the conflict between becomes us and them, the replicants versus the humans.
Yep.
But if Deckard's a human, then it kind of leaves it open to being segregation, or saying, okay, we have these two groups of people that can procreate together, but we're just choosing not to let it happen. I think it's a more gray area conflict if it's a baby born of replicant and human. And I think that's more interesting to me. So I think that's why I want Deckard to be human. But obviously I didn't write this movie. I can't say where they're going to go next. But
Sure.
I'm hoping if they have another sequel, or if they do another sequel, it becomes the discussion of do we let these two bodies or groups of people procreate, make a new kind of race or species, as opposed to kind of a war between replicants and humans. So that was kind of it for me. That's, I think, why I wanted him to be a human. But that was it. Yeah, cool. That's it.
Well,
there you go.
No, I think
I was just waiting for the throw, but I'll take it.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, that's it. Patrick, take it away.
He's not around typically for this part of it. We've usually kicked him off the show by this point.
Yeah,
Patrick.
that's true.
I don't know what to do. Yeah, I was like, why is he still talking? 10 minutes was up a long time ago. Okay, so I'm going to run through my stuff pretty quickly. A couple thoughts with what y'all said, because I wanted to get these in, but I was trying not to slow us up. You talked about Lydia's hair and Becky Cloonan saying that she fooled everybody. I want to say that that's one of the big challenges when it comes to CGI with characters, because what they looked like and what you remember them as are two different things. And that is something that has to be resolved. And so sometimes CGI is better than you realize, but because it's not how you remember it, you feel like it's bad. I just want to throw that out there. It's very interesting.
Are you referring to Force Awakens now?
It's several things. I'm making the statement. It's just something to consider when you're looking at artwork that you feel like doesn't look correct. Is the issue that it's wrong, or is the issue that your memory's wrong? That's all I'm saying.
I just said what I said based on what she said in the panel. She's the one that said that she fooled everybody and just drew a pretty girl, and we all thought it was her.
I know that, and I'm agreeing with her. That's what she said.
Yeah,
and I'm saying that her approach was a good one, because her approach was to say, what are the pieces that you remember? Let me give you that.
Right.
And then it doesn't matter if the likeness is correct, because I'm giving you your memory. I'm saying what she did was good.
It's funny because not to jump into a whole nother conversation, but she self-admittedly does not think she's good at doing likenesses. Yeah. So if you were to put this next to a photograph of Winona Ryder, it's not a likeness of her, but you look at that and instantly connect the character, because she said of her the dark circles under her eye and the beady little nose, the pouty lips, and the hair.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
She's like, otherwise I just drew a girl.
Right.
Yeah. And that works. I think that's a great approach. I'm going to save my other comment real quick and run through a couple things. So these are all things that have come to me. I've gotten I appreciate from the past. I was gone 22 days. It was crazy. I know that like Luke kind of left the party and came back and joined the party.
Yeah.
Andrew, we took the party to your house for a bit.
Yep.
I was displaced the longest, and so I'm still recovering. I'm going to go right to sleep when this is over. But a couple cool things. Number one, this is Perspective Collective. So this is a hand drawing. This when
So
we were
good.
at Pop-Up Crop. Big thank you to Matt Dawson for bringing us out, allowing us to interview some people. Those hot seats will be dropping sometime in the next month. We'll roll all those out.
Some really killer interviews.
Yeah, honestly, there's 10 awesome interviews that we can't wait to roll out. But everybody got a chance to basically kind of like make their own plates to be printed, like screen printed. I don't know that plates is the right term, but
Screens.
Yeah, sure, whatever. And so people like drew these things and they took them back. Industry took them and they actually got them all printed. And all these prints have 2 layers. So the top layer is the artwork that someone did. And again, this is Perspective Collective. This is tell me his name.
Scotty Russell.
Scotty Russell.
I could remember Scotty, but I couldn't remember his last name. Scotty Russell. But what you're not going to be able to tell too good. I don't know if the lights can hit this. But you'll see these like bright spots. And there's a community drawing that's on this as well. So like all these cards were laid on a big screen. There was one big community drawing that everybody contributed to. And then all the individual cards were printed over that. So every card has part of the community drawing in the background. Super, super cool. So big thanks for Scotty for giving me one of those. Andrew also contributed. And what else are you going to do but do M of 1? Looks great. Couple other things. Art by Colin. So when we did a couple meetups, we did the Anaheim meetup, had 25 people, and then we met with some people when we were in Austin. And Art by Colin, he's in the Slack community. He gave us these prints. These are originals by him, and they're super good.
Colin had, first of all, super rad dude.
Great
shout
dude.
out to you, man.
Yeah.
But he gave major props to you, Kolb, for helping him out with some art direction. I know that I helped him with a little bit of art direction on a piece, and but he had nothing but good things to say about you. Honestly, we had to tell him to shut up and stop talking about you.
He's a great guy. What piece did you help direct on?
The alien piece.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, I think I had helped him with the Jurassic Park piece that I think he gave a copy of, or he had a couple copies of. Did you get one?
No.
Well,
that's all.
There we go. Now it's awkward.
No, there's something
Thanks.
he's handing out. What did he give away? Did he have a copy of something for you?
Was it
that
Jurassic
thing
Park?
he posted today.
I don't remember.
Okay, so he did. He gave us. He has these little. Yeah, we have these Terminator cards.
That's
these
what he
little
was giving
prints.
you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're super cool.
So next thing, I know we've already talked about the thing, the board game. I did.
Hey, can I hop in real quick? Sorry, I just
Yes.
forgot one thing. Studio Zoe, we met them at Pop-Up Crop, and they sent me a care package today that was super awesome. Russell Toynes at Studio Zoe had a sticker, this insane pin that's like the best feeling pin I've ever seen or felt.
You have yet to hold the logo up correctly. You held it every direction but upright.
Listen, it's okay. It's this.
There we go. We did it,
I'm showing
everybody.
you. I'm showing all the folks.
You're
at
stealing
home.
my time, Luke. I had
fine.
to wait patiently through
But
all of you.
Listen, he sent me the shirt, and then he also sent me a handwritten note, which was super thoughtful, and that's a thing that like people don't do anymore, and that's just really cool. So
This is the most patient I've ever heard Patrick.
Thanks,
if I'm being
Russell.
honest. Like he stayed
all right, Patrick,
real
back to you.
quiet.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
I'm going insane right now.
Yeah.
Okay. The next thing, we've already talked about the board game, but there's a limited edition of the board game, so I won't dive into all that. I'm not going to unpack it. I anticipate us actually recording a playthrough and posting that on YouTube at some point. But I did want to show that with the limited edition, you did get a piece of artwork from Jock. And this is it right there.
Yeah.
So
It's letterpressed,
good.
right?
yeah, so this piece down here is letterpressed.
No, the whole print is letterpressed. That's embossed.
Oh, so I'm an idiot. Oh, you're right. It is. Okay, well, there you go. So, yeah, there's that stuff right there.
Hey, guys, Master of Art and Design.
Yeah.
Yeah, not this guy, but also when you get this limited edition game, it has a different cover. Okay, so
Which is beautiful.
and this whole thing, the
incredible.
sleeve slides off, which has the thing.
Cool.
It's great. It's just
I'm
super,
jealous
super cool.
that you have that version, but not so jealous that I'm going to spend that money on it.
It's $120. It is. It's a little bit of money. Yeah, absolutely. I regret it. Just kidding. It's awesome. Hold on, I have to
Tell
sit
me
this down.
though, you haven't had $120 worth of fun with that already? We
Oh
only
my
played it
gosh,
3 times.
totally worth it.
Okay, did I mention my Art of Mondo book before I left? Did I have a chance
Yes.
to?
Yeah, you did a little bit, but go ahead.
Did I show it to people?
No.
I just wanted to show it real quick because
No,
it's
you did
sitting
not show
beside.
it.
I keep things on my desk I need to talk about, and this wasn't off my desk, so I assume I haven't talked about it.
You talked
This
about
is the Art of
getting it,
Mondo book.
yeah.
If you haven't seen it, they have a limited edition, but I'm not spending $200 for it because I already bought this one. If you buy the limited
And the
edition,
game.
it comes with 3 prints, 3 small prints as well, and it comes with a sleeve that's like a flat file sleeve.
Nice.
And a
Anyway,
certificate of authenticity.
but I just wanted to show you like this entire book, and I want to make sure I don't open like something that's like bloody or something. This entire book is just prints. That's it. It's just full pages of prints that go
that
through
print's
several
worth
years.
a lot of money.
This one is the real one's worth a lot of money.
What
And
was
in fact,
what was the
obviously
final
all of
that
them.
those were going for? So Mondo at MondoCon they do an silent auction every year, right?
They were at $15,000 last I saw.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
That's the collection of 3, all numbered the same.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And it was a low number. It was like 48 or something.
I think it was like 84. I think
It was like 84. I'm dyslexic. I should take this moment
Here's
to
what
say-
I would say: buy 2 of these books, or just buy 1 of these books, and then just chop out all these pages and frame
Yeah.
this stuff. I mean, like cover your
I would say
walls
2
and this
books
stuff.
is the good idea.
It's
I
great.
think that's a better
There
idea.
is
Is
some
Kolb
history
in
in
there?
here, but Kolb, I don't
Yeah,
know. Kolb, what year? What year was the first year you produced something?
Great question. I think maybe 2014 or 13. Is that how it goes by?
Oh, it only
is
goes
that
up
how
to
it's-
2010.
Yeah, it goes from 2009 through 2014. So
Okay.
that's as much as it has. So you may have a print back here, but I will
Maybe.
just, you know what? I'll flip through and I'll just there's your
Hey.
there's your guy right there that's hanging behind you.
This guy right there.
But can you search? Because I don't have a copy of the book yet. Can you search based on artist or property at all?
Is there a glossary?
So in the back, they have a small version of all the prints like this,
Oh, okay.
but I'm not sure that they're in like necessarily a type of order because like I'm
Not
reading
the order
through-
that they're shown.
They're
It's the
probably
order
in the
that they
order
have-
in the book.
It's the order that they appear, but I'm saying like it's not like alphabetical when it comes to looking for people. So it's
Not
quicker
alphabetical
to look
by year?
for guests that way. So I will look later. I'm not going to look now because I'm going to
Okay.
just look like an idiot fumbling through this. And then I have one more thing to show you
The
guys.
book looks beautiful. I love the outside of
yeah.
it.
It's true. I like that better than the limited edition.
All right. Last thing. But
Hey.
So look at this cool piece right here. And this is about to lead into our conversation, Andrew. But basically, with each Fandango, like when you purchase movie tickets, and I was able to purchase tickets again, this time, unlike last year, I'll actually go and use my tickets. But you had the option. The first, so many people that purchased were able to also pick up a print. I'm sure they made tens of thousands of these. But the point is, it's actually pretty heavy stock. It's a nice print, and
That's cool.
I just dig it. I don't actually know who did the artwork. I'm sure someone knows who did the artwork.
Jock.
But I love the print a lot.
I don't
But
know.
just take a look at the top center of this print. And then, Andrew, why don't we go ahead and lead that into your conversation?
Yeah, so before we do that, though, we're going to call this one quits. We're going to say goodbye for this. This is our Around the Table. We're going to cycle this one up. Make sure you tune into our master category. We're going to dive into some more stuff with Andrew Kolb. And we'll start that conversation off with the thing that Patrick was just alluding to.
Right.
But for now, you can find this episode on mof1podcast.com where you can find show notes and links to all this stuff. If you're watching this on YouTube, just click the links below. They're all right there. Subscribe on iTunes, on YouTube, like and share all of the things to all of the places with all of your friends because it's nice. Sharing is caring. Rate and review. If you're on iTunes, rate and review the show. It doesn't cost you any money. It takes very little time, but it helps us out tremendously. If you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/mof1podcast.
Yeah.
We're on all the different socials. Just search M of One Podcast. Honestly, just hit us up in the Slack channel if you want to talk with us throughout the week. That's mofonepodcast.com/Slack. That's where you get information about upcoming meetups, and you can connect with us. And it's a really, really great community, so you can join us. Hey, Kolb is there,
Yep.
And you should be too. But I think for now, we're going to call this one done. I'm Andrew.
I'm Patrick.
I'm Luke.
And I'm Andrew as well.
Peace out.
Bye.
Hold on to your butts.
Greetings from Canada.